December 20th, 2022, or December 19th, 2022, Sylvania Board of Education meeting to order. Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hoffman?
Here.
Mrs. Conklin?
Here.
Mrs. Lavalette?
Here.
Mrs. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Feller is absent.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I think we're starting with you, Dr. Motley.
Thank you, Ms. Conklin. Good evening, everyone. I will keep my superintendent's report rather brief tonight. I just wanted to acknowledge over the course of the last couple of weeks and a lot of nights last week, I had the opportunity to visit and witness our performing arts programs between orchestra and band and choir across the district. And we have such amazing students who are talented in every way, from vocals to instruments and a combination of such. It was just fantastic. Spent a lot of time out at our buildings, and just it warms my heart. 'Tis the season for performances in the evening. Also today, I had the pleasure of spending some time with our custodial staff and our grounds and maintenance crew. Dawn Watson, who is the director of custodial services, had a luncheon for her staff, so we were able to break bread and laugh and share some stories as we enter into this holiday season. It was very nice, and Dawn asked that everyone stand and introduce themselves, and it's really humble to see that not only do we have senior custodians, we have a number of newer custodians. I think the youngest had been in a position for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then there were others that have been in their position 26 years. Or have longevity with our district. But it was nice just to see everyone happy and spending some time together. It was good for the soul and for my spirit, so that's the end of my superintendent's report.
All right, and then we're going to move on to accommodations.
Yes, it is my absolute pleasure, Ms. Conklin and Board of Education members. We have so many accommodations to share this evening. First of all, for those who may be watching this later, and for those who are here this evening, accommodations actually gives our Board of Education an opportunity to recognize students, staff, and others who have achieved state and national honors in academics or extracurriculars, or who have contributed in some manner to the enhancement of our wonderful school district. So it is recommended that our Board of Education approve the following accommodations, and I'm going to name some, and then we have some folks that are here we want to celebrate. So first, we have Bryn Chafee. Is it Chafee or Chaffee?
It's Chafee.
Chafee, I got it right. Thank you, Bryn. Come on up. Yes, please. And we also have Maddie Peasley. Is Maddie here tonight? All righty, come on up, ladies. I'm going to come to you. How about that? Because we have a camera. We need to show you off a little bit. Bryn, congratulations, Maddie. Congratulations. So I'm going to stand over here, and I want to share with you Bryn and Maddie. Bryn, you are a senior, and Maddie is a sophomore, and they are hereby commended by the Board of Education for qualifying in the 2022 Ohio High School Athletic Association Girls State Tennis Championship as a doubles team. Woo! So happy for you. The team won their first match at the championships 6-2 and 6-2 over Dublin Kaufman before losing to the 3-time state champions from Centerville in the Final 8. Bryn and Maddie earned second team All-Ohio recognition for their success. Congratulations, girls. We're going to have a photo op here shortly, so just stay around for a little bit, a few more minutes. Alrighty, and then we have Alex Casey. Alex is a senior. Congratulations, Alex. Alex is a senior and is also commended by the Sylvania Board of Education for football. For the second year in a row, Alex has earned football first team All-Ohio as a punter. You have a heck of a leg there, don't you? And Jennifer is here tonight. Jennifer Casey is a math teacher at Timberstone and is also a Northview graduate, I do believe. So we're keeping it all in the family in Sylvania. Congratulations again. So proud of you. So with that being said, I'm going to give a recommendation when I come back, but we're going to go out for a photo op real quick, if that's okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Right back. All right, kiddos, come on back. Family, if you want to take a shot as well. Grab your phone. All righty. If I may continue, Ms. Conklin?
Yes, please do.
We would also like to recommend the following individuals for commendations. We have some Northview High School students as listed who achieved scores of 26 or higher on the ACT, and on the SAT scored scores above 600, and those are noted there, listed below. And we also have Cameron Hunt, who is a senior, also at Northview. He is commended by our Board of Education for the state and national recognition for volleyball, being named second team All-Ohio, and actually honorable mention All-American. We have Gabrielle Gillenwater, who is a senior, and she, Gabrielle, did I say he?
Cameron.
Cameron is a she, thank you. Cameron, I apologize. Cameron, thank you. Cameron is a she and is hereby for the second team All-Ohio. Gabrielle Gillenwater, who is a senior, and Brendan Wishart, who's also a senior, are also commended for state recognition for soccer, being named second team All-Ohio. And we also have Karis Borbeau and Tyler Paulicki, who are also being recommended tonight for commendations for state recognition for Division I soccer, first team All-Ohio. A lot of student athletes that are very successful in our district are being recognized at the state and national level. And I recommend commendations.
I'll second. Any questions? And congratulations, everyone. That's amazing. We're very proud of you. And okay, call the roll.
Julie?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes. Okay. This is our first opportunity for public participation, and there is no one signed up. So we are with you, Mr. Code.
All right, so just want to kind of give you a quick update. Our audit report is wrapping up. It is filed with the state. They have to do a desk review of it since our audit is completed by not the state, not the auditor's office, but a private CPA firm this year. So everything looks good. I'll have that to you guys when it gets completed, but there are no issues, and should another clean audit report. So
Great.
yeah,
Good news.
Yes. Fantastic.
and then we can do consent since Greg's not here. But so 5.1 and 5.2 are the minutes for the last month and then last week. And then we have the treasurer's report for November. Everything is trending right towards where the forecast is. In future months, I'll kind of give you a live view of the forecast, see where we are in a different spreadsheet, but everything's trending towards our forecasts, which is good. 5.4 is the availability of funds. We do have 2 new funds in 5.5, one for Music Honor Society, and then Quiz Bowl is going to set up their own account, all student activities funds. So a lot of fundraisers from students and led by a director there. So we just account for those revenue and expenses in a different fund. 5.6 is appropriation changes. I did put, that's your color copy on your desk in front of you tonight. Just needed to appropriate for some old funds that we'll talk about in 5.7, but and then I needed to appropriate for the $1 million grant that we got for our safety that we talked about last month. So those are the appropriation changes, and then 5.7 is transfers. We have several funds that have not had any activity very small amounts, I mean, some 20 cents and things like that. But we're just cleaning that up, transfer those back to the general fund, and we can do that based on the revised code there. So not a lot of money, but it's kind of my OCD. I like to have a clean cash summary there, and those accounts won't have any activity, so we're allowed to transfer those back to the general fund. And then there's one that for whatever reason a couple years ago had a negative $110, so I'm just going to transfer $110 to the general fund to clean that out as well. So that is all I have for the month.
I'll move approval on a consent agenda basis, items 5.1 through 5.7.
A second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Julie?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Thank you.
Dr. Mott?
Thank you. I recommend item 6.1, which is the acceptance of gifts. As noted, we had a couple of anonymous donations, one of $112.95 and another of $500 to pay the students who attend Hillview their lunch charges. And this is an anonymous donation, but a very generous donation that goes a long way with our families at Hillview.
I'll move approval.
A second.
Any questions?
Are we able to accept anonymous donations?
We are.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, that's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's super,
Warms my heart.
super kind and generous, especially this time of year. Okay.
Julie?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Thank you. I recommend item 6.2. We have 3 overnight field trips that we are seeking approval. One is for the Southview High School coach and legal advisor, Mr. Lyle, to accompany 7 students to Cincinnati to attend a mock trial invitational. Another is for our Northview High School teacher, Byron Jones, to accompany students to the Business Professionals of America National Leadership Conference in California, and another conference that will take place. It is the Professionals of America PBA State Leadership Conference in Columbus this spring.
I'll move approval.
A second.
Any questions?
Nick and I go to California.
Chaperone.
Thank you.
We'll send your name along, Julie.
No, don't really.
All right, call the roll.
Julie?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Thank you. I recommend item 6.3. This is a policy revision for a first read for field and other district-sponsored trips. No action is required.
And really the only change is changing it from underneath the district to the building.
That is correct.
If they're in Maplewood and they walk to the library,
That is correct.
that's all I can find.
I wanted to make a suggestion for an additional change. The current policy indicates that, athletic trips, field trips that are outside of, that are day trips but are outside of the state need to be approved by the board. And I don't think that's consistent with our current practice. I know there's at least 2 sports teams that have regular contests in Michigan that are day trips. And our athletic handbook doesn't require those trips to be approved by the board. It only requires trips outside of the, or overnight trips to be approved by the board. So my suggestion would be to remove the reference to out-of-state trips requiring board approval. I'm trying to find it.
I have it actually, Tammy. It actually says the board shall approve those field trips and other district-sponsored trips which are planned to keep students out of the district overnight or longer or out of the state. So based on your recommendation for the second read, remove the portion that says out of state. So we just would want to board approve overnight or longer field trips.
And this is something I noticed when we were approving the athletic handbook, but I hadn't circled back to it. But since we're approving, we're looking at a change to the policy anyway, I thought it might be a good time to review it, to consider that also.
Okay. So you're saying only approve it if it's out of,
If it's overnight.
if it's overnight, otherwise not approved field trips?
Well, right now,
Out-of-state ones.
Right now, the golf teams and I know the cross-country teams routinely have meets in Michigan, like sometimes just right over the border, and those are not being approved by the board. So it seems to me to be well, I would like our practice to match what our policy says.
I'm pretty sure all the elementary schools also go to Gus Brothers, or even up to Erie Orchards, and we're not, you know, if it's just a day trip, we don't have, just because they cross the border.
Given the Highland's probably 400 feet from Michigan.
Right, well, yeah,
Yeah.
some of the students at Highland probably cross the border or something. So, yeah, that's,
Is there a difference between an athletic trip and a field trip as defined?
So this covers both, and that was another question I had when we looked at it last time, if we should have a separate policy for athletic trips. But I think, I mean, I guess we could look at it either way. It's just, I don't think it's necessary to have board approval for trips that are.
You know, maybe we could just specify not including Michigan, you know, or within 60 miles. Maybe we do it by miles, because maybe we want to approve it. And I don't know, maybe we wouldn't if they're going to say, I don't know, Chicago, they're coming back
In a day?
I've done
Yeah.
it. You can do it.
I mean, I know that there's cross-country trips that take place in the Detroit area and Ann Arbor, that are day trips, where they're gone. And actually, Science Olympiad routinely takes trips to Michigan too, where they're there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes they're more than 60 miles, is what I'm
So
saying.
maybe we say 100 miles or not Michigan. I mean, Michigan is, you know, it's right there. I don't know. Or you just want to eliminate board approval. And I think what, correct me if I'm wrong, but we do board approval for liability purposes for some of these trips. So that's why I want to be careful to still cover us for that liability. But I agree with you. I mean, Gus Brothers, they all know. So maybe there's some other language we can say, like more than a certain mileage, so it doesn't, not necessarily out of state, because I suppose even in the end, it's not that far.
Right. And that's certainly something to consider too.
I think you're right, Tim. Whatever we do, we need to be consistent.
Right, and we want the practice to follow the policy.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Daniel is in Science Olympiad, and he has several weekend invitationals in Michigan that I'm sure aren't being board approved.
Because they're just there and back.
Right, well, they leave at like 5 in the morning and they get back at 8 o'clock at night, but yeah.
That's the question. I mean, let's say you go to Fort Wayne, that's closer than Cleveland, if you're going there and back, but we're staying in the state, or let's say like Athens, Ohio, let's say you go there and back.
It's far, yeah.
So if we were gonna do it, if we were gonna board approve something that wasn't overnight, we would probably have to determine mileage, or how many
Yeah.
miles it was.
Or maybe we just, yeah, I mean, I guess.
Or we
I think
just
overnight.
continue to improve overnight only.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with overnight.
I am too, I think that's the simplest solution.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get in a situation where somebody didn't realize their trip was 101 miles away.
Right. And from where? Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Is it
From the school?
Is it from Montague? Is it from Southfield? Right.
Okay.
Thank you for that discussion. I recommend item 6.4. These are 3 policies that are up for a revisions based on the second read and up for approval. We have one that is famous schools extracurricular, co-curricular drug testing policy, also the procurement of federal funds and grants, and also a policy on board committees.
I'm on approval.
I'll second.
any questions?
I actually have a comment or a request, and I apologize. I'm requesting to pull the random student drug testing because that is not the accurate policy for the second read. Completely, without a doubt, my fault. And I know that was submitted last week, but I just looked at it again. And we even had a board agenda review, so if possible, can we pull that? And can I put the
Okay.
second read on January 9th? I just want to make sure that it's the accurate policy, or the language is correct. And this is not the correct language, so I apologize if we can pull
So-
that.
Okay, so you need me to amend my motion?
I probably should have done that before you made a motion, but I didn't want to be rude.
That's
I
okay.
wanted to
So
have discussion.
I will amend my motion to approve, to exclude the policy 2431.02.
I'll second your amended motion.
Any questions? Okay, call the roll.
Julie,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Jill.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, we need to open up nominations to appoint a president pro tem for our January 2023 organizational meeting.
I nominate Greg Butler.
Okay,
I second.
okay. Are there any more nominations? All right, I'm going to close the nominations and call the roll for a vote.
Julie,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Okay, and we are with you, Mr. Taberski.
So I think you have to do the meeting.
Though,
That's
oh,
you,
8.1.
You
I
can
skipped
still
8.
do. You
oh,
decide
okay, so we just
something.
need to file it, so we need to have a motion to establish January 9th as the date of the 2023 organizational meeting. So I'll ask for a motion on that.
So,
A second?
Second.
Okay, call the roll.
Julie,
yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Kim.
Yes. Now we're with you, Josh.
Thank you. I'm recommending approval of 9.1 through 9.3 on a consent agenda basis. 9.1 are licensed substitute teachers. 9.2 is licensed extra duty. And 9.3 is for student life.
I'll move approval on a consent agenda basis, items 9.1 through 9.3.
I'll second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Julie,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Kim.
Yes.
Thank you. I am recommending approval of items 10.1 through 10.3 on a consent agenda basis. 10.1 are classified new hires. 10.2 are classified personnel changes. 10.3 is a classified resignation.
I'll move approval on a consent agenda basis, items 10.1 through 10.3.
I'll second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Tammy,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Julie.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm recommending items at 11.1 and 11.2 consent agenda basis. 11.1 are athletic volunteers for the 22-23 school year. And 11.2 are supplemental positions for the 22-23 school year.
I'll move approval on a consent agenda basis, items 11.1 and 11.2.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Julie,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Jill.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have board committee reports. Jill, do you have anything?
I have nothing.
Okay. Not since last week. Okay. And Julie?
I'm just gonna hold anything till January.
It was a short week. Okay. And I have nothing either. So this is our second opportunity for public participation for items that are not on our agenda. Seeing none, we will, are we going into executive session this evening? I don't believe we are. All right, so we will adjourn. I'll move for adjournment.
A second.
Okay. Call the roll?
Kim,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Julie.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, everyone.